Hello and welcome.
Welcome back to the continuation of our league finals.
Yes, top four.
I'm Matt.
Marcus. And we're back for the top four.
We're going to have two games to show you, and before we have our sort of grand final.
Yes.
I'm not sure if we'll be cutting backwards and forwards between the games, or if we'll just follow one and
depending on timing.
Yeah.
We'll follow the one game mostly, and then we'll see how the other games panning out. I believe the main match we're watching is Carl versus was it just Carl versus Trent, not Justin. So we saw Snappy Bays before, and now we're looking at Ihani Ray. So here's Trent's list.
And it's an interesting one because does he still play Plant Explosion?
I don't think he'd ever cut it.
Yeah, it is. He's gone down to one of now.
He's done too well with it in the past for him to cut it.
The first time he killed me with Plant Explosion, I thought, this is the most humiliating way to die.
And then he did it again.
And then when he did the second time, I was like, no, this is.
The whole time I'm trying to tell him, I don't like it in the deck. And the whole time he's like, no, I like it.
No, he like shows me the list and I'm like, what is this jank?
Yeah,
and then it obliterates my world.
Yes, a few times. So anyway, interesting list. We know what Ihani Ray does.
It's sort of, it's a different take. So the Trent's Han Ray is designed to leverage Destiny and go big and broad as fast as possible, and then use all those disparate symbols to Plant Explosion you if you can, or just apply enormous pressure.
So, Carl, interesting matchup. So, Carl, obviously being first seed, does get to choose the battlefield going into all of his matches. So, in this one, he did choose I imagine he chose his own battlefield because it's very good. We'll just get Trent to move his battlefield out of the way there just to be a little less confusing.
So we're playing with Carl's Carbon Freezing Chamber, which is so good because the red deck's very focused, it's very fast.
The interesting thing is that Han Ray can be very quick. Which can be difficult for the base snap list that wants to play the turns a bit slower. But Han Ray struggles with no resources.
It certainly does. But my experience of Han Ray is that whilst it can stack a lot of actions and have bursts of speed, it's difficult for it to fully resolve its turn all that fast.
Every time. Okay, sure. I don't believe he was playing 4 speed, so 4 speed definitely an issue for the deck Carl's playing. The ability to just do stuff and then eventually use one of those actions to claim or to like sequence things differently because you have a sequence of actions built up.
That's right. For every turn that you remove one of Baze's die, it's just such a lot of pressure.
Yep. So we started with a roll in from Snap. Looks like he crushed one. Trent did resolve a resource off of Ray there just because.
And then pitching overconfidence to re-roll into a second resource.
Yep.
So clearly has something in mind.
Yes.
I'm guessing a Heavy Blaster.
Yep. I think the Heavy Blaster here. Looking at the hands, it's trapped very live in this deck.
Absolutely.
Now, we didn't see it in any of the previous matches, but Carl does play Wingman. Now, Wingman is incredibly... That is one of the benefits of this mono-red deck, is how effective Wingman... You can leverage Wingman.
It significantly boosts the tempo of the deck.
Hit and run with Wingman in play is a very different game.
Absolutely.
So looking at his list here, obviously, all 2 ofs, actually. Interesting.
Yeah, so liking the consistency and wants redundancy on everything.
Yep, he knows what he wants and he wants to see them. So he's playing all of them.
And the only non-red card that he's playing is Confidence, which is just more control that he has access to.
Free removal. Well, not even removal. Free die control. It's a little different. So as I said, I think having spoken to Carl about his list is the thing he likes most about the list. It's so many zeros, so many ones, so many zeros.
Yeah.
Your turns are very simple to play, like in terms of the sequencing is not simple, but
sometimes your lines are more obvious to you.
Yes, yeah. So there's an improvisation on Trent's side.
So Carl missed his draw card trigger when he played Promotion.
It is a May.
It is a May, so Trent not responsible for keeping track of that part of the board state.
No, not at all. Okay, so Carl pointing it out. A couple actions later, it's a May trigger, and Carl missed it. So tough, basically.
Yeah.
We are playing this tournament.
That's right. These are the finals now.
This is a paid tournament to enter. We like to advertise it as something that it is casual by every means, but once you get down to the pointy end of it, you start playing for a fair amount of money and prizes. You want to win,
and let's not forget the prestige.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, there's these are the league has had a lot of interest in it, and hopefully the next one's going to be bigger again.
So both players, interestingly, not sure who their opponent is going to go for. So Carl splits his shield.
Yeah. So
and Trent takes one of Baze's die, which I think is a good call.
Yes, I agree. Not often that this list is able to be claimed off of, but Trent able to do so here.
Yeah, well, I think Snap's dice had both been used.
Yeah, he not hitting. So I did play this list for a little while. Just to, I think as you say, the best way to learn a deck is to play a deck.
Yeah,
the best way to understand how a deck functions and what you want to do with a deck and how to, play a deck. That's the easiest way to get an understanding of something.
That's right. When you're holding the cards in your hand, it tells you what you're looking for and what you're happy to see, and then what you don't care.
It becomes very obvious in front of you. So I did play this for a little while and found the deck is very strong. It can survive ridiculously long, despite the fact you really don't have much mitigation. You can soak so much damage, but
interestingly, Carl's using the hit and run here. I'm not sure that I wouldn't have sandbagged it myself until I saw and it's a trap.
Getting the dice in the pool, get 4 dice in the pool with an ambush action never feels bad. That roll, however, is pretty miserable on the snap, which is what I was.
He does have the it's a trap. So no, I would absolutely.
He has the it's a trap as well, so he's going to fire that off.
I mean, it's not going to get him so much, but
look,
you've got to start.
It's not nothing, so it's a considerable chunk of health. It's also a very early claim,
absolutely,
as well. So what I was saying as Carl calculates maximum damage on board,
it's going to be 6
damage.
Yeah.
You can be quite punished in the early.
Going for Ray.
You can be very punished in the early turns if you don't get a disrupt. If you don't get that disrupt early, and also if your opponent's able to stabilize with a bit of a stockpile of resources, if they're able to go into every turn with a couple of resources left over,
then they always have that wiggle room.
Yeah, it take the primary pressure point of the deck is sort of just mitigated completely.
Carl's line's now making complete sense to me because he's able to finish his turn quickly, get the action he needs to play Planetary Uprising.
Play Planetary
and then have that pressure all game long.
Yep. And now he can sit on. So yeah, he's Trent's not going to let up this turn. Like Carl rightly, deciding, I guess, that Trent's not going to claim here.
That's right.
There's too much value to be had. So he's going to take the opportunity to empty as much of his hand right up until the point where he doesn't need to anymore.
Well, and interestingly, we're halfway through the second turn, and both Carl's characters are undamaged with 2 shields on each.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage there.
Yeah, like this is going to leave a mark.
There's a planned explosion.
Yeah, so that card we were talking about being okay.
There's 10 damage.
Although, interestingly, Trent must have had at least 8.
I think he had. I don't think that was necessary.
No, I'm not sure I'd have done it at that point.
There was a lot of damage showing on just the dice alone.
Yeah, look, I believe I just would have done.
I would have
done the damage and waited.
I mean, look, it's more damage than you could have done.
Oh no, and then he riposts to kill him. So there's. Yeah, no, this seems fine.
That is a huge swing.
Just Trent showing why planned explosion is such a big swing.
Yeah, planned explosion. Han makes it very simple to very, very easy to achieve. I mean, on 2 dice you can get 6.
Yeah, absolutely. And many of the dice you play have big sides.
Yep. So planned explosion. I don't think we've mentioned exactly what it does, but it is 0 cost.
And you can remove.
You must remove.
You must remove a number of dice equal to or exceeding a value of 10 cumulatively to deal 10 damage to a character.
Yep. It's pretty strong.
Yeah.
10 damage is a lot. 10 damage is a lot. Cool guys, do not look at explosions. As we can see. It is one of the more badass pictures of the Destiny cards.
Something I've missed in the past is you have to remove all your dice.
Yes.
You don't just have to reach 10.
Oh, it's all the dice. I think every time I've seen it resolved, it's required all the dice.
That's right. Yeah, so I've never connected that before.
Yeah, so neither have I. But obviously, in that situation, you don't care. You're doing 10 damage.
That's right.
Your turn's pretty much done. In almost every
It's hard not to be happy.
in almost every situation, that leads to a dead character. In this case, it required a riposte. Oh no.
Yeah. Han giving up shields.
Yeah,
that's-
it seals up this turn, this game pretty well, and that's a big play as
Yeah,
well.
and look, Trent overriding the blaster with the one with the force. The writing is on the wall.
This game's looking a bit grim, because even if Carl is able to finish off Ray, which is possible, then you've got to deal with a Han and a one with the force in play as a support.
And I imagine Han will have a heavy blaster.
And there's some mind bullets.
Yeah.
So that's 3 damage on the one with the force. A disrupt and a +1 resource. So
Looks like we might be playing against double planetary uprising though, so that's going to be
it's
interesting.
not
pressure.
nothing. I mean, look, that plane explosion couldn't have fought on Trent's side of the table. That plane explosion maybe allowed him to snatch what might have been a very difficult game to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because at this point, if you were playing against the Bays and double planetary, 4 damage is not nothing.
Oh, it adds up fast,
And
it's 8 damage
Yeah.
at the end because you get to claim and then first action
it's
claim.
and the thing is, it's so calculable. If your opponent has less than 8 health and no way to gain life across their characters, you literally can just snap claim and know that you can
First action claim. That's right.
And the thing is, obviously, you can't overkill characters, so the 2 damage needs to be divided
Yeah.
to the characters. You can't put it's not 2 as in lots of 2.
So it's always perfectly
Perfect.
aligned.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yep.
So even if a character only has 1 health, you assign 1 and then the 3 elsewhere.
Yeah.
So you can't overkill. So yeah, and we see there that 4 damage is
Yeah.
not nothing. That's
It looked like there was a lot of time.
Yep.
And now there's less time.
Yeah, the problem is, so Carl's got to be a little annoyed at how quickly that swung for Trent there. Bit unfortunate, because I feel he was in a very strong spot.
I do as well.
Plant explosion said otherwise, unfortunately.
Depending how this turn goes, though, Trent can do a lot of damage and just end the
Yeah,
game.
look, there's a lot of damage showing on.
I see 7, which is the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, did he have a shield?
He had 1 shield. Oh, no, he's just going to pack it up. I think he's just packing it up. I think he did have a shield, but it doesn't matter. They're going to go to game 2. So Carl will decide who gets to play.
We've swapped over to a second game,
Yes.
which is Steve on Unkar, FN, and Night Sister. Interesting deck.
So this is still game 1. So we see...
And the second Piers brother. Strong showing from that family. Very good at Destiny.
Yes, they picked it up and they've picked it up well. So what's just happened is that is an incorrect list showing at the moment. That is not what Steve is playing, unfortunately, but we'll get that updated. What's actually just happened apparently is the double Imperial Inspection has bounced to 2 things on back to Justin's hand. So I believe that his Maz had a little bit more than the goggles. Possibly some fast hands.
So, quite possibly. So it seems that Justin's successfully killed 9s, or FN,
Actually, no, he's not playing fast hands. But
and then
still.
Steve's got 6 on Poe.
Yeah, so 6 on Poe. There's a doubt. Oh,
I'm
that's
not
key.
sure that I would do that.
Disagree. Oh, no.
Immediate punish.
He was doubting.
Immediate punish. Oh, what's the matter with you?
Steve. Questionable
That
play.
was painful to watch.
I think he just wanted to risk it. I think. Okay, so
Maybe he's afraid of what Justin can do.
Yeah, look, the thing is, right, the way Steve sees it, and I kind of agree. If that's your only line, you just want to get rid of the die, right? You want to take away the option that Maz, the focus, resolve special.
I guess that's true, yes.
You got to take it. You just got to take the line. If that's the line you see that is your best outcome, play towards it. Unfortunately, that was not as bad as it could have been, but pretty bad.
If you're wondering, Steve's also prized possession one of Poe's die, which is wonderful play. But it's difficult to have a lot of confidence in the Night Sister to close this out once Unkar goes.
Yes, Night Sister not a real powerhouse. Because there's a deceptive point in the EPO Maz deck where Poe dies, and then you're left with a Maz, but Maz's abilities aren't nothing. She can pump out damage.
And if she's got a heavy blaster, like it can just be 3 damage every turn.
It's very consistent.
Yeah.
It's not nothing. Like her ability, very strong. The goggles on her are just incredible. Like very strong character. Very strong character.
So if you're Steve now, do you have something? Is that gaffy stick that could redeploy? I might be tempted to overwrite prize possession.
Oh, I don't know I don't know, man. That's giving up too much. You're just playing to kill Poe, right? Like you just need to kill Poe, but it's going to be hard. FN is the damage dealer, and FN obviously got cleaned up pretty quickly by some large vehicles.
That's very true, but Unkar's got 1 point of health left.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're confident that you can claim. So I guess you can wait to see if you can claim, because if you can claim, then you can override it next turn, and he won't have the die.
Yep.
If Poe's already rolled it.
We're gonna leave that one there. We'll jump back in eventually. So we're a couple actions into
the second game
match of the second game. All right, second. So this is game 2 of our feature. It looks like can't see the hands.
We're riposting a couple of shields onto.
Yep.
We're going for snap this time, keeping it fresh.
So it looks like Trent had a very good opening hand with the holdout blaster into the Jedi robes.
Yeah. So Trent prefers to do holdout blaster into Jedi robes more than the other way around, because Jedi robes helps with destiny, which then helps him go broad.
It also helps with flame explosion.
The symbols aren't bigger on Jedi robes.
They're not bigger? No, they're not. Of course. No, it's you're right. It's the blue die is more relevant to destiny.
You'll notice that the Trent's holding destiny.
Yeah, of course. So that's the correct line. Well spotted. Also sitting on a reversal.
Yeah, so Trent can actually destiny reversal.
Wow.
I'm not sure that that's the line I would take, but it's certainly open to you.
Yeah, it's definitely an option to be had.
And that's not an upgrade on Han. That's just a riposte that hasn't been cleaned up.
Yes. So the riposte is sitting in play at the moment. It's a doubt.
Not a bad die to hit, but Trent giving up on wanting to destiny anything this turn, which I think is correct. I would hold on to that.
Yeah, there's no reason to do anything yet. We'll just get our producer there to pull the destiny that's sitting in play, because that is not an upgrade.
I'm sorry, that was confidence that got hit, not doubt. Apologies.
Sorry, yeah, confidence was removed. So Carl just rolling in some damage.
Yeah, just doing 3, and that's the thing with Han. Like, you don't think of him as a damage powerhouse, but sometimes he just rolls 3s.
Doesn't have a resource to do the damage.
Well, I think he must have, because he dealt it.
No.
Oh, mate. Yeah. No. No, yeah, he resolved. No, I was going to say he resolved the Jedi robes for resource.
Yeah, so unfortunately there, Carl, taking what was probably the best reroll he had, but missing miserably.
Oh, Carl in desperate straits if he's pitching it to trap. But it seems like it's not
quite working for him. So that's 2 unresolvable bases, 1 damage across.
And across both. So it's going to be 3 damage, which I imagine is frustrating.
Yep.
And that's if he resolves Snap's die instead of claiming. No, it looks like he's claimed, so he won't do that extra damage.
Okay, cool. So yes, the riposte getting cleaned up there finally. All right, so
Carl not using the claim ability, possibly not having anything to return, and just taking 5 fresh cards.
Now, it's interesting. Did Carl choose Trent's battlefield?
Maybe, because he started with shields.
That's interesting. Maybe he just felt he wasn't fast enough versus this deck. It's a very interesting decision to make. Because one of the strongest parts of the deck that Carl's playing is the ability to control the battlefield and claim it at your leisure. But maybe he just saw that Trent was able to get too many resources for it to matter.
Yeah, and Trent usually goes broad. There's going to be a lot of dice on that side.
The problem is, though, you're opening yourself up to just being granted with the change, ammo belt's not a thing anymore, but still you can just pick up the second chance a couple of times.
Well, Trent's looking at being able to Destiny second chance if he wished, but I'm not sure that I would bother.
Nah,
at
I
this
don't
point.
need to. He's not under pressure.
Yeah.
Rolls in, sees some money bags Han there, hits the resources.
That's right. All about the money this round.
No,
And look, sometimes it can be frustrating as a Han Ray player just seeing the dollars. But actually, if you take them, they'll be useful at some point.
it's always useful. And the thing is, it's a 1 in 3.
Yeah.
He has two $1 sides. It's actually very relevant.
Both Han and Ray have 2 resource sides, so actually the deck makes a lot of money.
It does. And then you know some of your other cards give you the modifiers.
Carl's digging in.
Yep,
Not a mistake.
Nope. He wants to. He's on the stall. He's on the stall plan again.
Well, he's also played 2 Baby Blasters this turn, so actually his prospects have improved dramatically.
They have. He's just trying to keep Snap alive for as long as possible. Carl just plays the second chance, has it in hand, doesn't feel he needs to. Sorry, true.
Yeah.
Of course, Trent plays the second chance, rather.
Trent just banking those resources going, I don't need them.
Sitting on an electroshock there, so feels that's enough mitigation. Also has a Loth Cat and Mouse, I think that is in his hand as well. So actually has two forms of mitigation.
Yeah, look, that's pretty terrific.
Which is fine.
And as Carl's dice have only come out 1 base this time, and if he re-rolls, it's likely only going to be a second base.
Yeah,
that's kind of a terrific.
Looks like Carl's just going to gun on electroshock here, but it depends. He's choosing rightly so. I agree with this.
Is that a +2?
Yeah, that was a +2. So he's actually removing. He's still going to take 1 damage. Like hitting the base means he takes no damage after the rip, but it. Actually, I feel this actually means that his potential to take damage is reduced even more. Maybe
he thinks Carl would just re-roll it, because it's got such good chances of hitting.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You're removing one of the better dice in the pool.
All right, so your trend here, you've got the choice. Do you thin your hand more so you draw more cards next turn, or do you hold the Loth Cat and Mouse until it's going to matter a bit more?
So you got Loth Cat and Mouse, Destiny, and what was the other card? Reversal.
Yeah,
I think you just wait, right? Carl's going to re-roll a bunch.
None of them are cards you want to just throw away. The problem is he has to see some upgrades.
Yeah.
So he needs to draw cards in the next round.
So maybe you consider Loth Cat and Mousing the. No, he's going to Destiny Reversal. Just wants to keep the pressure up.
Okay, gets the cards out of his hand.
I can see it.
I can see it.
There's no large die. There's nothing. Yeah. Massive that you need to. You're super worried about.
That's right. This turn's
reversed.
Pretty safe to him now.
Yeah, I think that's about as good as it's going to get.
Yeah. See, I think I would have made a mistake and maybe waited for a better spot, but I actually think this is the right play.
I agree. I like that play. It's the pressure as well as the. It's a very tempo.
That's right. Like it controls the damage coming in and whittles away at Snap a bit more.
Yeah, I like that.
And so now he's a realistically good chance of killing Snap in this following round.
So it looks like Trent claimed there, I believe. I think Carl played Spirit and then gained a shield. And then
I'm pretty sure Snap's die was in the pool.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Apologies. Yeah, no, Snap still had a disrupt in the pool. Yeah. So
Trent unable to claim unless he had a resource.
So Carl able to gain the shield and then claim. So rolls in Snap. Hits disrupt 1, disrupt 2. It's the dream, but alas, no time to resolve it.
Not fast enough.
So there's 2 actions. So I mean, look, by now I'm pretty.
So sure. At this point, do you roll in Han and try to crush, or are you going to roll in Ray? Yeah, you try.
Yeah, you try and crush, right? Tidy up the turn, or just do a bunch of damage.
Or you could just shoot him in the face. I guess that works too.
Han's a very shrewd negotiator.
That's true, and and if you go to the video archives, you'll probably find that Han shot first.
Careful now. No, so look, I think Carl's definitely not out of this by any means.
Look, Baze is unhurt and got 2 guns.
Yeah,
this game very much alive.
And as I've said before, the Snap Baze deck able to hang on. Just that little bit longer than you expect it to.
And with the It's a Trap in the deck, it can just pour out damage if it needs to.
Yep. So has a field medic in hand. So I mean,
I agree with Carl. I think you kill Ray first because you want the guns on Han to live as long as you as possible because that's your win condition.
Yeah, exactly.
You just burst him down.
Yeah, that's the plan. You definitely don't want to have. I think in the ideal world, I think you're never using your It's a Trap until you do it twice to Han.
That's right. And Carl's showing 6 damage there.
That's a lot of damage. Also sitting, as I said before, sitting on a field medic, which is very relevant.
Would you love cat and mouse here? You've got 5 damage that you're giving up, and you can only stop 3. I don't
know if I agree with this.
Yeah, look, I think I take the damage trade.
So you prevent 3.
But you
and
lose 5.
And the resource swing. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that play. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, obviously, it can go either way, and that's the thing about Destiny. There's so much unknown. So, Carl, there's an interesting card.
Yeah, Rebel Assault. How does that work?
So, Rebel Assault, if you have a die showing a gun,
yep,
you can use it to remove an opponent's die showing anything that isn't damage.
Right, yes.
So, it removes special...
Anything that's not
anything other than damage.
Yep.
Very strong card in the deck. It has a very good spot in that you have the shields to your mitigation to damage is you're going to take it. You're going to take it with your shields. You're going to take it, and then you're going to field medic. So there it is in front of us.
Interesting.
Yep.
So what we see here is Destiny being played to save an action.
Interesting.
Which very interesting play. Like, so I guess Trent's saying, I want to claim.
So that's Destiny being used to negotiate?
Yeah.
Is Destiny... I thought Destiny was a blue... Not
you can play any card.
Of course, any card, yeah. Any card equal to the value of the dice removed.
So this is Trent's pitch to allow him to claim. So I guess he wants to recur a holdout blaster.
So interesting there that I guess Trent was rewarded for using the Lost Cat and Mouse in that Carl felt that obviously, given that Trent used Lost Cat and Mouse and not something more direct, I think
Trent claiming and returning a holdout blaster.
Yeah, I think that maybe Carl felt that his opponent had no real way of interacting with his dice and chose to try and attack the resources instead of resolving the damage that he had on board, and was a little bit punished for that. So definitely lost out on some damage, some potential damage there. The time.
But Snap gets away. So if Trent plays that turn differently, he takes a little bit more damage, but Snap would have died.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But
that's the thing about Destiny.
And honestly, I'd just rather not have to deal with that amount of crush for the rest of the game.
Given yes, of course, but given the outcome, that's what would have happened. But
yeah, it's very easy to say.
It's one play changes, maybe every subsequent play changes.
That's right.
One die result shows up differently. Everything changes. It's very hard to look at this game with any form of hindsight.
Absolutely, and Trent's line now, quite clever, is to overwrite the Jedi robes and make sure that when Rey dies, maximum value is going to be extracted.
Oh, so that's so it still has 2 actions. So the nets 1 action from the ambush on Rey. Plays the holdout blaster, not to the maximum potential that it can give you.
Trent may be afraid of it's a trap here. Hit and run into it's a trap and be trying to get his guns out of the pool
fast. Doesn't actually shows 1 gun, so it's a trap definitely live here. I don't believe Carl has it. He has 2 promotions and a defensive position, I think. So Carl rolls in, shows 2 disrupts. Trent going to reroll. What is interesting is that the heavy blaster replaced second chance.
That's right. So Trent feeling Han's not in any immediate danger. He's got time to find the second one.
Not this turn. Also,
and he can return it.
He has his battlefield. Right. Yeah, very relevant. It's a liberty that you, when you have it as with the Ihani Rey deck, when you have the liberty to remove upgrades, to upgrade into other upgrades, and know that at any point you can basically claim and pick it up again, feels pretty good.
Snap crushing both of Trent's resources, but using both his dice to do so.
Yeah,
and then Trent Snap taking a resource in response.
Yeah. So Carl showing that the deck is very... It is important to attack your opponent's resources consistently. Even though you...
Snap now under a lot of pressure, taking 5.
Yeah. So even though you're not necessarily preventing them from claiming this turn, you're trying to prevent them from being able to go into the next turn with net resources.
That's right. And it's such a drain on the economy. It's 50% of your turn's resources.
There's the second field medic.
Yeah.
So also the other thing to note in that situation, by crushing both resources, it forced Trent to have to remove another die to get the resource.
Yeah.
So in a roundabout way, you're mitigating a die as well.
Absolutely.
You're mitigating potentially more damage. So Carl has a hit and run in hand.
And showing just how effective these red decks are, just making you play for an extra turn.
Yep. Well, that's 2 field medics, or like that we've just seen. I mean, Snap would have been very dead.
And this is the second turn which Snap just isn't dead.
So now he's going to go for it, try and kill. Both characters are rolled in, so he's going to try and clean up Ray here. Very possible with the dice he has, and that looks like he'll do it very convincingly.
Yeah, that looks comfortably dead.
2, 2, +2, and a focus.
Yeah. So 8 lazy damage.
Yep. So he can do that. So he only had to present 5.
What? Yeah, 5.
5 damage.
5.
So he can do that with 3 dice. Overkill with 1. Save a resource. I feel he's probably just going to pump that into Han. Do you pump that into Han? You might as well, right? You're not holding on to the resource for the next.
I don't know. Han's got 3. The extra damage.
The extra damage,
absolutely. Yeah. You don't want to be riposted to death either.
Keeping Han's shield count low is very relevant. Problem is going to be next turn when Han rolls in with a lot of guns.
Yeah. Han looks scary at this point. But by the time he's got more guns than hands.
Try wielding.
When he rolls in 5 dice and each of them can be.
Let's think about the logistics of that for a second. How does one person wield 3 pistols?
I'm not certain I'm allowed to swear on the channel, but I'm pretty sure one's in a very masculine place.
Yep. That'll do it, I guess. So, Carl feels better now. There's the wingman. Unfortunately, doesn't really have a way to ensure that that Snap's going to survive the next turn.
Yeah.
I mean, short of so he has a defense.
I don't know. So here's Trent's problem. He can't roll in and resolve anymore.
No, he can't.
And Carl.
And he
can have hit and run, it's a trap.
Yep. And despite the fact that he could be playing fast hands, he's not.
And that would just kill him. That would just kill Han.
Yeah, it's a trap. Super live draw here. Yeah, Trent having a peruse.
Yeah.
So we see 1 it's a trap.
And 1 hit and run.
1 hit and run, which was just used. So Carl, they've gone into the next turn. So haven't seen Carl's hand. There's the second chance. Yeah, immediately needs to play the second chance.
Trent doing the math and getting it
could
right.
Just be dead. So in hand is a hit and run second chance. Correct play by Trent.
Look, it's difficult. Like sometimes you think I've got to get lucky to win, and this is my turn to take a chance. But Trent feeling quite comfortable with the game state has opted to be safe.
There's a sense of placement. So Carl demonstrating what the deck can do given the opportunity to stabilize. Not fully stabilized yet. Unfortunately, you do some of your real powerful, like the most powerful cards that keep you in the game, like the dug in and the defensive position, do require you to own the battlefield.
They do.
So it can be.
I don't know if I like this.
Yeah, giving up a lot of damage on Han simply to
and there's no need to do that before you roll.
Also, has no resources anymore.
That's right.
That seems wrong. Your opponent has Wingman. So immediately can activate all his dice simultaneously.
And look, let's not underestimate sort of the mind games of it. Maybe Trent's just saying, kill him now. Let's see what you got.
Maybe.
Show me what you got.
Maybe, but I'm not sure I agree with that play. I think holding on to the second one, there's no discard. You have that card indefinitely.
Yeah, I agree.
And even if you don't, if you've got 1 in play and you can put 1 in the bin, you've got 1 in the graveyard, you just pick it up again.
Certainly, so I like to have the guns.
Very lackluster turn, I think, there for Trent. I mean,
our producer's just making an excellent point, which is he's worried about having his resources crushed.
But are you worried about getting killed? Well, yeah, there's enough dice to kill you twice. Maybe we're over jumping to conclusions here. Maybe he is. I mean, if we were to calculate it, and it's a trap here, probably is enough damage to kill Han through. Is there 15 damage on board? Or would it have to be 16 damage, right? So +1.
I don't think you can kill him. I don't think you can kill him a full 1.5 times.
6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage maximum.
So this is interesting. Like if you're Trent, you only have to deal 1 to snap, and look at how much damage you're showing.
Yeah. So there was 14 damage on board, and you would have had to have dealt a full 16. I think Trent may have given up a bit much here of the a bit much of the turn.
Oh, he is going to kill Snap. Look at that. I suspect I may have made a mistake and put that into bays and just had to face those 2 dice again. But this is a good way of dice control because it gets 4 dice out of the pool, right?
I think this is the point where Han becomes the attrition game. So now Han's saying, I have 10 more health. I have 10 more health.
Oh, look at Infamous.
And the problem in the shields are relevant here. And the problem is, he has 10 more health, and unless you can do both of them in the same turn, Trent is able to claim, pick it up from the graveyard, and put it back into play. It's very relevant. So Carl claiming here now. Carl needs to hit a Planetary Uprising. Oh, there it is. Yep. So that's gonna make it a bit harder for Trent to play. The Planetary Uprising against one character is a scary thing.
Yeah.
It's very hard to play around knowing that your opponent can claim.
It's 2 damage every turn and 4 at the end.
Yeah. 4 when it's relevant.
Yep.
The math gets a little bit harder. The heads up play gets a bit more complex. That's some damage. So it's a 3 and a +2, so that's showing 5 damage. Going to be unpredictable into 1 resource. That's a shield for Han, and 5 damage not taken by Han. So that was the difference between having a second chance popped or not. Going to use the ambush action to play a bowcaster.
Yeah. So Trent having to discard the Infamous at the end of last turn.
Which is unfortunate.
Which is a shame because it robs him of an action and the shield at this point. But the bowcaster, very good weapon. Ups the threat level.
Yep.
And it's got 1 less blank on it. The Heavy Blaster is very good, but it's got 2 blanks on it. And sometimes it just mocks you.
It hits real hard. It is a scary thing.
It also allows Trent to claim and return the Heavy Blaster and then replay it for an extra shield and remove a die.
So, sorry, what card is that one? That's the one with ambush that allows you to remove a blank to re-roll.
Yeah, to re-roll a yellow die, I think.
Improvisation. Improvisation?
Improvisation.
Yeah. Great card in the deck. Obviously has ambush when you play it and gives you, just another go, basically, at doing some damage.
Yeah, so you can re-roll a blank to roll any other number of dice, which actually happens pretty frequently.
Yeah,
in
also in the attrition style that Han can fall into, it means that you're not giving up cards in order to have more attempts at damage.
That's right.
Which is very relevant.
Did Trent miss the shield off improvisation, or did he get it?
I believe he got it and then was dealt damage.
Yeah, okay.
Because Carl presented a further 2-3.
Defensive position just ruining the day here.
Oh, that just ends the turn.
Yeah.
All right, so Trent going to claim here.
And return the Heavy Blaster, I imagine.
Yeah, pick up... Well, I mean, you're going to hold on to the Heavy Blaster until the point that you lose your first second chance. Play your Heavy Blaster with the intention of then overriding the Heavy Blaster with the next second chance that you pick up, right?
It's also dice control. He's got the 3. He can override... He can roll in the bowcaster, get value from it, then override it with the Heavy Blaster and remove a die.
Yep.
And gain a shield.
Yeah, of course. And then...
And then for 1 resource, just return the...
Yeah. So, this great opportunity here to discuss the recent rules change of Ammo Belt.
That's right. So it was errated from applying to any sort of equipment to weapons only.
Yes. Which makes sense.
Which makes complete sense.
Yep.
So it closed that abusive loop that allowed you to recur second chance for 1 resource.
Yes. And in this situation, if I could honestly say, my understanding of the game, I would feel that in this situation, if Ammo Belt was in Trent's deck and worked the way it used to work,
then he couldn't lose.
This game is unwinnable for Carl.
Yes, and I absolutely agree.
It's just a matter of time. Carl will eventually take more damage than he could ever possibly deal to Han.
Did Trent just overwrite second chance before Carl had activated?
Wants to get the die in the pool.
And gain a shield?
Wants to gain the shield, wants to get the die in the pool. Bit of a flip. It's gone back to wanting to present damage. I mean, not getting the maximum value out of the holdout. Out of the DL44, but yeah. So rightly recognizing that he can't be overkilled twice. Like he can't be killed enough.
That's right. So
with
sheer number of dice have been reduced, and he's got overconfidence in hand, which I think requires you to spot a blue.
It does.
Yeah. So that's actually a blank.
It does. Does it? I believe so. I believe overconfident is spot a blue. So yeah, can't be resolved.
Yeah.
So that's a dead card. Now Carl has some interesting lines here. So choosing to
finally seeing a decent upgrade.
See-
He's been making do with
Yep.
Baby Blasters, which are solid, but there's no substitute for
Yep.
Overkill.
So Han had a bit of a dip in power. He dropped pretty low in his ability to deal damage. Slowly picking it back up again. He's found his blaster as well as Chewie's blaster.
Yep.
Chewie's bowcaster.
So I think he's just showing 2 on the Bowcaster, a couple of resources on Han, who
Yeah.
we all know is all about the smuggling.
So Carl taking this turn to try to stock up base in preparation for the. Oh, he's just going to do it now. Okay.
So well, we've got the Overkill now. If he's got It's a Trap, this is an awful lot of damage.
He does
and
have
a lot
he does have the It's a Trap, but I don't know if that's enough damage to kill Han.
it might not, but it's huge pressure for the whole game.
He didn't even need the It's a Trap. That's a lot of damage.
So it's
That's 9 damage.
11, isn't it?
Looks-
Once you pay, I think it'll be 11 damage.
No, so he's choosing to just. He's
Yeah.
choosing to. Is that enough to? Okay, let's just math this out. Let's see what happens. All right. So interesting. No, that's it.
That's it.
That's enough damage. So obviously, Carl did the math.
Han on 5 with a shield.
Yep.
And Carl doing 11. That's perfect damage.
Yep. Correct.
kill him.
Correct play by Carl. Showing a lot of expertise. Anyway, we'll jump back over to match number 2. I believe this by now. This has to be match game 2.
That's right. I think Justin took the first.
Yep.
So
All right.
Pomaz still showing strength,
Oh,
but
Pomaz.
Steve's Unkar FN Night Sister deck capable of putting out a lot of threat very fast.
It can.
But-
It can spin. It can spin a turn.
This game not looking like it's Steve's. That's a lot of damage on FN, and Poe looks completely healthy.
So FN with the prize possession there, I feel that may be a mistake being on FN.
Perhaps he was afraid Unkar was going to die early, but
Yeah. So it looks like we can clearly see that a thermal detonator's been triggered. Hence 3 damage on all the characters.
yeah.
Yeah, look, a card to definitely not overlook in Steve's deck because it can spin a turn. Well, actually, it's 2 cards in combination. The Price of Failure into a Boundless Ambition.
Oh, amazing.
So we might not get to see it, but a character's about to die.
Yep.
So you would Price of Failure, the character that's about to die, to ready your huge FN. And then
Steve flanking the blank Poe die because Maz can just roll in, focus
turn
it,
it to
and
anything.
then end this.
Yep. So Boundless
But
Ambition.
Maz only needing to deal 1 herself
Yeah,
to kill FN.
not
I think
unlikely.
writing's on the wall.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to get to see it, but that combo then allows you to basically have 2 turns.
Yeah.
And given FN's ability as well, by overlapping.
Oh, Steve putting the right control baton on Unkar, who's already rolled in, rather than the Night Sister, who's yet to roll in. So he must just be confident that Unkar will be the next to die.
Yeah. Yeah, look, the Pomaz deck definitely demonstrating that it can do a lot. And
Yeah, that's very possible. Our producer just advised us that Steve's looking at the Price of Failure and is maybe
he's looking to just kill off. Maybe he's looking to do some damage to Night Sister to re-roll Unkar's die, get a resource, play it. Yeah, look, I think what he's going to try and do, I think he's going to try and Unkar. He's going to roll a Night Sister, either trigger Unkar's ability in the hope to hit something big, which is very likely versus the Pomaz deck.
Yeah.
In doing so, that's unfortunate. He does have the re-rolls though from Night Sister.
Yeah, look, I would expect him to burn Night Sister rolling what he wants.
Yeah, so I think the perfect line that Steve has here is he wants to get 3 value of dice showing 3 value showing on his 2 dice.
Yep.
Use Unkar's ability, hit something big in Justin's hand.
Yep.
Then use the Price of Failure on
Night Sister.
On Night Sister. Play a few upgrades. I think he's got at least 1 upgrade that he can play on Unkar and go again.
Yeah. Yeah, he very much wants to be able to discard a card, gain resources.
Yep.
Price of Failure the Night Sister to ready Unkar.
Yep.
Then Boundless Ambition to draw 5 more cards.
Does he have the Boundless in hand?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, so this might be the combo. We might actually get to see the combo here.
But I think Justin discarded the Price of Failure.
No, he removed Doubt.
Okay.
I do believe it was a grey card. It was either Doubt or Flank. Maybe not recognising what those 2 cards in combination represent.
Well, before you've seen it, it can be catch you by surprise.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely can. You can be like, oh, and there's a lot of damage you just not expect. I mean, ideally, you want that situation to arise on an FN, just because you get 2 cracks at every weapon you play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it very strong. There is a lot of potential damage, I believe. Having spoken to Steve about this deck, he says that I think the maximum damage, like in an ideal, perfect world, in one turn, essentially, you can deal upwards of 20-something damage.
Yeah.
By drawing and redrawing cards and Price of Failing and going again. Anyway, so this we'll have to leave
We'll
this one
check
here.
back in with this a bit later.
Yeah, so we're going to jump back over to our feature match, which is a few
Game
actions
3.
in. So once again, we have. So there's been some stuff played. So
Heavy Blaster on Ray.
Heavy Blaster, which would have been by the looks of it. Yeah, which looks like it was cycled through a holdout blaster, and one of Snap's dice were removed because of the Heavy Blaster.
That's right. And it looks like Trent's also unpredictable into something and pitched one with a force.
Yep. So he's going to sensor placement, pay 2, resolve one of your opponent's dice as if it was yours. So in this case, he resolves a resource, gains a resource back himself. So essentially in that case, it was pay 1, remove a DL 44 blaster.
Yeah, it seems quality.
Seems fine. That is...
Ray discarding defensive position because that's just what she does sometimes.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good. Defensive position, very good against the dice.
It's like 30% of the removal in Carl's deck.
Also just really strong against the Han Ray deck, given how high a value some of the dice show.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Especially if you're trying to avoid planned explosion.
Oh, yeah. So Snap rolls in, shows some modifiers, and as Snap does, Baze rather, and as Baze does quite often, showing that not so good special.
Yeah, it's
it
not
just
brilliant.
it doesn't feel great against 2 characters. 3 characters, it's not bad.
Just never lights you up.
Just against 2, it's always probably going to be a reroll, unfortunately. No,
Oh, he keeps it.
keeps it. No, doesn't want to get greedy. Doesn't want to get greedy.
Maybe he's afraid of the riposte, which is not nothing.
That's not nothing. Okay.
But it doesn't look like Han's going to do anything this turn.
It's not nothing.
Trent's-
That's 4 damage. Like, the double special is 4 damage. It looks like Trent may be claimed here. No, still just passing.
Yeah,
just passing back.
Yeah, no need to get out of the turn yet. He's just passing until something relevant happens.
Yep.
So maybe Carl's afraid of deflect?
Yeah. I'm not sure if
Although
Trent...
there's
I'm
not
sure-
much you can do
I
about
don't
it.
know if Trent... Does Trent play deflect? I'm not sure if the list plays it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that's
We'll take a look.
Let's take a peek at the
Doesn't look like it.
list. No, I'm not seeing deflect.
Yeah, it doesn't see it.
Because deflect dies with Ray, which is a bit of
does.
a problem with some of the cards.
It does. It's a very dead card at that point. And I think, as you pointed out before, Trent plays this deck a little differently to most people. He plays
Yeah.
it a little higher end, a little bit more of a ramp style, like wants to build up to bigger things quite quickly.
Yeah.
And isn't so interested in having early removal. Like, he's expecting to go long with big stuff.
That's right. That's right. He
So
wants to go broad and then
Yep.
and then just apply a bunch of pressure.
So it looks like the damage was resolved. Trent claimed.
and then Carl just emptying his hand,
Carl emptying his
looking
hand.
for any value.
Yeah, looking for anything there on the snap die.
But the snap die is not greatly
Looks
rewarding.
like he hit a resource. No, actually, no, he had a resource from the previous turn, so I don't know what he hit. He hit a crush, which wasn't relevant because Trent did not have any resources left, as he had to pay 1.
So we see
claim.
Carl drawing the Planetary Uprising and Trent having both Holdout Blaster and Jedi Robes.
Oh, okay. So we're going to see some. We're going to see some dirtiness.
There's going to be some magic.
We're going to see some dirtiness on Ray, and a few shields on Han.
Holdout Blaster on the Ray giving the double action and also gaining a shield on Han. Classic move.
Han rolls in, doesn't hit the crush, but does hit the 3. So doesn't have the money to do it though, but has the ability to gain a resource.
Or
Would you gain the resource?
If I'm Trent here, I probably gain the resource because I've got Electroshock in hand.
However, you are then opening yourself up quite heavily to cards like Hit and Run, where Snap rolls in
Yep.
and crushes your resource.
Yeah, look, that's absolutely true.
I think getting more dice in the pool, in this case...
But if Carl spends a hit and run on Snap to crush my resources, I'm probably doing a happy dance inside.
Kind of. I think in this list, I think in the mono red list, the Hit and Run is better served when in combination with the It's a
Interesting.
Trap.
Trent pitching Jedi Robes, which is a pretty solid card,
Yeah.
to
one shield.
re-roll a whole bunch of die, including Han's 3 for resource.
And is rewarded heavily. Huh.
Do we?
So Ray Yeah, so he re-rolled into a lot of damage. That is 4 damage on Han and 3 damage on the Heavy Blast. There's 7 damage he just re-rolled into. So I think Carl's in a rough spot here. He has no way to deal with any of this damage.
Yeah, this appears to be a problem.
All right, but not to be outdone, he shows some of his own damage, and that's going to be a Destiny into a reversal. Oh, wow.
Oh, look, if you're Trent here, I understand that Snap's making your life a bit of a misery, but if you've got reversal for 3,
yeah,
with that much damage behind, would you consider just going for Baze and just trying to burn him to the ground?
Maybe, but I don't. Do you have enough? So Baze is on 12.
You've got 10 damage.
Baze is on 12. Like, Baze is 11 health with the shield.
Yeah, but if you do 10, he's only got 2 left.
Yeah, but then if you don't kill him, like if the next action goes into field medic dug in, it feels pretty bad because now you've got essentially a full health Snap.
Yeah. Look, I guess that's true.
And the damage you did to Baze just wasn't useful.
And perhaps you're just worried about Planetary Uprising.
Yeah,
we've just been informed that the other match that
it did end almost as expected, I think.
Yeah, Justin took it in 2 games to love over Steve.
Yep. So that will mean that we have a Pomaz in the final.
Defeating the Unkar FN Night Sister deck.
Yep. So Pomaz continuing to be definitely a force in the current meta.
That's right. There have been. Yeah, at this point we may have the brothers playing off for the grand prize.
Yeah. All right. So Carl demonstrating another card that his deck does. I thought he went to use it before, but I guess he chose not to. So he actually plays an interesting card, which is Guerrilla Warfare.
Yeah.
So in the ideal world, you roll in Snap. They have no resources. You've got a single Snap die left in the pool.
Did he field medic Snap before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. So you've got the Guerrilla Warfare in hand there. So in the perfect world, you've rolled in, you've crushed your opponent's resource, you've done a bunch of stuff they can't claim. You have 1 Snap die left.
Yep.
You Guerrilla Warfare, which is remove a red die to deal 1 damage to target character.
Yeah, wonderful.
With ambush, and then you claim.
Yeah.
So it's just eking out that last little bit of value off your Snap die.
Yeah, just another way that Carl gains an inch.
Yep, it's what it's about. So looks like he plays the Planetary Uprising. I believe Trent has claimed at this point, or he's going. He's going to claim. Pay 1 to claim. Carl can't do anything about that, unfortunately.
Oh wow!
All right.
Yeah, this is now
that changes the state of the game significantly. Trent being rewarded for going after Snap, because if Snap was able to stay alive with that in play, you're not in this game for much longer. A couple of actions and you're in a lot of trouble.
Look, that's true, but
a couple of turns rather.
But Snap's damage ceiling is sort of 5, and that's including the 4 from Planetary Uprisings.
Oh yeah, but it's his effect on the game and his ability to disrupt your plan. It's not just his die. It's the disrupt 2 is huge. The claim 1, the cost to claim. Even if you have to just pay 1 to claim, that's hard enough. You're essentially playing every turn with 1 less resource,
which is huge. It doesn't sound like much, but it's huge. Yeah. Trent, interestingly, the 5th card he drew was the ambush weapon he needed.
Yep. So that gives him a very good chance of just killing.
He's just going to overwrite. I guess he's leaving the resources free so that if Han rolls any 3s,
I like this play a lot.
That he'll be able to pay for it and resolve.
Doesn't need to be greedy. He recognizes that the way he loses this game is if he lets it slip away and allows Snap to survive this turn, and he's not able to claim.
Yeah. And maybe he's just determined to do whatever damage he can.
Yep.
And then get out.
Yeah, definitely rewarded for the heads up play there. So rolls in Ray and hits the least valuable die in his deck. He does the 1 damage that it needs to do. So very, very well played there by Trent.
Look, I would have been tempted to spend the resource, get my gun out of the pool so I can't be trapped.
Yep.
And with Ray showing the +2, he still had 3 damage on melee.
Yeah, I guess.
And he's got nothing to do with those dice.
New problem, however, is now...
Oh, no, he has Negotiate.
He does have a Negotiate.
Yeah, very strong. I take it all back.
Yep.
Trent's right. I'm wrong, which is why he's in the final. And I'm watching.
New issue that has just...
Semi-final,
This is the semi. New issue has... Oh, that's a bunch of blue and no base.
Yeah.
New issue has arisen, though, is that now Carl has 1 character and 2 planetaries in play. It
Yeah.
That is 4 damage that's going to happen.
That's right.
You are very rarely going to be able to claim off a single character.
And certainly not once Ray's dead.
The negotiate big there.
Probably,
I feel
probably clinching a claim.
So no, I think Carl's comfortable that he can resolve that, knowing that Trent's not going to pass without having rolled in harm.
Look,
in this situation, if you're Trent, you're not.
I don't know. I really might. I might have.
Actually, you are a very solid. I will admit, you're a very heads up and very solid player. So it's possible you may have just claimed there
because you don't have that many resources.
Do you feel bad if you're Carl if you do? You feel like you might have just dodged 12, at least 4 damage.
No, I feel bad if I'm Carl because you lose the 4 damage that you would have dealt to him, and maybe Trent's dice did nothing.
But maybe they did. That's the thing. That's the issue with this game is that you just don't know.
That's right.
It's the threat of what might happen. So in this situation, though, Trent choosing to re-roll rather than claiming the
rather
resource?
than taking the 3, but showing that he's the man,
just
by
being rewarded
fixing up
again.
6 damage.
Just continue. I will admit some of the re-rolls have been a little questionable until we see the results. Like, I don't know. It's hard to know whether or not, can Trent does he just know?
I'm beginning to think he just knows.
Anyway, so that's, it's hard. And it is difficult. Like, in this situation, if you're Carl, it's hard to not feel hard done by watching your opponent make very, not loose is the wrong word, making very, very reaching plays.
One of the defining characteristics of Han Rey as a deck is its incredible skill ceiling and all the different lines that you can take. There's no way of saying that this line is right and this line is wrong. Like, I can say what I would do in that situation, but there are so many valid lines.
Oh, of course, definitely. And
as you said, Carl made the comment earlier that his deck can be a bit binary. Like it suggests itself.
Yes, definitely. Not doesn't make it a weak deck by any means. It's
not at
very
all.
strong.
It knows what it's doing and it does it well.
Yes, indeed. Just a little unfortunate. I feel he's been at the bit of the. He's definitely copped it a bit harder than I would have expected. There's been a few situations that have definitely gone very suboptimally for him.
Look, Trent doing the 6 damage at the end of last turn, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, exactly. And there's just been a few other turns that have definitely been very defining moments in the game where
we have another chance for Trent to roll in and resolve and maybe just end it.
Yeah, so rightly rolls in Ray.
I'm pretty sure Carl's sitting on 2 It's a Traps.
Misses all the guns, which for Carl is a good thing and a seemingly almost bad thing. You kind of want him to show 1 gun.
Yeah, that's right.
But then he's probably very likely to just resolve that, knowing that he's playing around. In hand, he has a
with
bow.
Second Chance, Infamous in hand. He's got a bowcaster, but I don't think that's getting cast this turn.
No. Hey.
Oh, no. Like, if Ray's going to die, so that's interesting. He can, if he got value out of, so he might be looking to unpredictable the Heavy Blaster.
Yeah, resolve.
And then resolve that, and then override it with the bowcaster.
Yeah, you're pretty safe unpredictable in the Heavy Blaster because, safe's a... Because the problem
you
is,
try and bait the claim out of Carl, where you kill Ray, move the 3 guns across to Han, and then go for it.
Yeah. So choosing to roll in Han shows the 2. Now, Carl is going to make the play that is blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
I think Trent, a bit of a lapse in judgment there. I think he could have played around that a little bit better.
Trent immediately regretting.
Yeah, immediately regretting, but...
And this will be a big swing.
It's a big swing, but Han is going to get gear.
So Carl here assessing whether he even needs to use it to trap.
Maybe not.
Because he can kill Ray, and he's not going to get that much extra damage if he uses it. But he's decided to push.
I think he's just going for it. Like, you just got to go for it, right? Like,
I don't know. Like, maybe it's just an awkward damage split, and he wants a more efficient.
Maybe without really thinking into it too hard. I think
he just wants a more efficient split.
You want a more efficient split, or you just want the maximum amount of damage you can get now.
Yeah,
because the damage is in front of you right now, possibly not later.
That's right. Like 1 in the hand's worth 2 in the bush.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, again, it's exactly what we were talking about previously, where, recognizing a line and playing it doesn't necessarily make you a good or a bad player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can recognise the best line, but then roll poorly, miss it, and then it looks like you were you made a bad decision. But if you're rewarded for that, it can make you look like an incredible player. So
it's very difficult to assess the quality of a decision once you've seen the result.
Exactly.
Because the result clouds everything so heavily.
Yeah, exactly. Of course. Exactly. Result bias is very much a thing.
That's right.
And that's the thing. I mean, the best players can generally weigh up the odds, and it's about my description of this game to any person that's looking to pick it up, or anyone who's just picked it up and is just getting into it. It is a die. There are dice. There is going to be variance. But the way I will describe it to someone is, at least my feeling of the game, is the person who makes the most correct play most often should win.
Yeah.
So, sure, you can, make a reaching play and be rewarded, but if it's like poker, you know what I mean? Like you can make these very extravagant bluffs.
Seems to be entirely a game of luck. And yet the same players make the finals.
Yes, exactly.
Like they go deep every time.
Exactly.
And Destiny's the same. Yeah, there's variance on the dice, and sometimes they just roll max damage and you can't find any. But over time, your skill becomes apparent.
Exactly. And that's exactly what my point being that, the most correct play most often should get you through.
Will win out.
Yeah.
And that's why so many of us are pleased that they had the initiative to errata fast hands, which just removed some of the decisions.
We did put up a video. I think I mentioned it in the earlier. So General Games has put up a video with myself and Scott talking about the changes recently. The major ones obviously being the ammo belt and fast hands errata.
Yep.
And look, I hate erratas. I think everyone hates erratas. You've got a card that says one thing, and you look at it, but that's not what it says.
That's right. It's no longer what it says, and it's very hard on the casual players.
It's annoying. It's annoying for people picking up the game. It's annoying, But for the health of the game and for the sake of the current player base, I feel that they made the best decision they could have.
Look, this is a difficult spot for Trent because Carl can now claim and win.
Oh.
Just quietly.
Oh.
So Trent's first play has to be second chance over holdout blaster.
Yes. That's something.
I mean, unless he can go in 2 shields.
And then, so Trent correctly recognising Carl's got to feel good here because,
I don't know. Trent had the heavy blaster. Maybe he's still hoping to play it, but you could have gone via the heavy blaster to second chance to give you a shield.
So Trent's got to feel. So Carl's got to feel good here. He doesn't own the battlefield, unfortunately. So some of those survival cards not live, but he's very likely going to get to claim here.
Yeah, actually, look, it's interesting because Bay's only got 5 life left.
Bay's only got 5 life left, which is very relevant. But in hand there's at least 1 dug in hand.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, they're getting the short end once again.
Unpredictable, living up to its name.
Yes, very unpredictable. Han's going to roll in here. And present 2 damage.
Yep.
Carl not owning the battlefield here is so difficult. So he's looking at he's looking at a confidence there.
Both players in a tight spot. If Trent deals 2, does Carl just have to claim to apply the pressure?
Yeah, but
because you can't let Trent have another roll in and resolve.
Trent just pitches his hand, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Like if Carl claims.
Also,
so Field Medic clears it up a lot.
Yeah, Field Medic helps a lot here. Also, not to be underestimated is the riposte in hand for Trent, which can be a sneaky cut 1 to 3 damage. In a lot of cases, in this current situation, I feel it'll be somewhere between 1 and 2 damage, but you just don't see coming.
That's right, and it can just be enough to finish someone off.
Yep. Carl definitely wants to aggressively claim this turn because if he can survive this turn and go into next turn with a dug in and a sensor. There we go.
I mean,
pitches the sensor placement.
Carl really represents 8 damage with those 2 planetary uprisings.
That's a lot of damage.
If you think you can survive the turn, you claim.
That is for 6 damage in play plus the special, which is 7 damage.
Yeah.
Trent's in a rough spot here.
I mean, this doesn't kill him, but it'll mean that Carl's first action next turn can be claim.
Yeah.
that's if Trent doesn't first action play another second chance.
Like I said,
which he has in hand.
If Carl is able to get the claim off of Trent this turn, I feel that Carl can't. I feel Carl's in an incredibly strong spot.
Look, I think. Oh,
pitching to reroll.
I think that's just wrong. I think you've got to. I think Trent had to claim.
So the problem with re-rolling there is it's not the fact that you re-rolled, it's the fact that your re-roll now requires you to get any value from that re-roll.
You need another action. Absolutely. And he doesn't have the time, I don't think.
No.
Although Carl needing to split up his dice because of the nature of second chance.
There's no point resolving a die unnecessarily. So Trent immediately claiming after that. So
returning second chance.
Second chance, which is fine. He's going to be able to play that. But do not underestimate the fact that Trent had to give up so much of an aggressive point. So
yeah.
Trent wasn't able to play the holdout blast, had to override his holdout blaster to get the second chance in play. He's sitting on a DL44 blaster, which he can't play because he has to spend his three resources immediately to play second chance.
Well,
and Carl's just going to go for it.
Carl is just pushing.
He could. It's on the dice.
Yeah, look, he's now got a 1 in 6 to hit it.
Oh, he's looking at that card. He's looking at it hard.
I think it's a mistake.
If you're him, do you resolve that?
No. Oh, yeah, I resolve what I've got now. Absolutely.
Nah, you going to go for it? I think I go for it. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. And that's the thing. I'm a fan. I personally am a fan, and I think it's well known to any of our regular viewers that I was a very avid Vader Raider player.
Yes.
In Awakenings, and that situation would come up a lot where you'd have maybe one Vader die, or the 1 in 6 on the Tusken Raider die, and I'd go for it. I would willingly.
Trent's first action, obviously, play second chance,
and I would willingly pitch those cards because, as we were saying before, you don't really know how good a line is until you play it out, and the problem is allowing to go to an extra turn when you have an opportunity not to.
Look, if you take a series of decisions, each of which has a 1 in 6 chance of winning you the game. There's nothing wrong with that. Like you could just win.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a fan of just winning. I'm a fan of going for the just win because let's not worry about what's going to happen next turn. Let's end it now.
I'm a natural control player. I want to know.
You like this. You like the safe lines.
Yeah, it's like I like certainty.
Yeah. So Han showing 3 damage there, but unable to resolve it because he had to immediately play the second chance. Now, Carl rolling in, showing no damage on his dice. Han re-rolling into the exact same result.
Maybe the dice switched around.
Carl re-rolling. Here we go, boys. Destiny. Now this is pod racing. No, so yeah, it's so tight here because Baze can die to 5 damage from Han, which is a cheap. Wait, is it 5 damage from Han? Hold on a second.
Yeah. It's
you would just claim. You would just claim. Surely you just immediately claim here. You can't die to the 2 dice that are in pool. Trent has no money. What are you worried about?
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
No. I
think just claim.
Well,
Han can only do.
No, you don't win by claiming first action next turn.
You deal 4 now. Second chance triggers,
and then you've got 5 left, and you can't claim first action.
If he was to claim right now, both second chances are in the bin. You get first action. You have a whole turn to kill Han with no second chance in play.
Oh, that's
true. It's risky.
No, that's absolutely true.
It's risky as hell, but it's. I recognise what Carl's trying to do here. Carl's trying to proc second chance on board with the dice, but I think that's just a bit greedy.
Yeah, see, Loth Cat and Mouse just.
Do you just
when you only hit the one base?
At some point, I think you just claim here. Surely you just claim.
Carl probably at that point now.
He's considering it, but I
don't know. There's such a lot of value left on his dice too.
Does it? He claims. He just claims. Recognising the line, I completely agree with this line. I might have done it sooner. Right. I might have done it sooner. He actually ended up getting more value by baiting out the Loth Cat. The Loth Cat and Mouse, definitely. So, as I said, the best that Trent can hope for there is 2 damage. Well, even before that, the best Trent could hope for is 4 damage.
That's right.
Which is unlikely at best. 3 damage, maybe.
Look, I completely agree. Carl returning overkill, I think it would be a mistake to play that because it doesn't have any bases.
I agree.
But maybe just trying to make sure he doesn't deck.
He's going to roll in, present...
He's now out of library.
Any amount of damage that Trent can't answer means that Trent has to snap claim. Improvised games of shield. Oh, it's close. It's really close.
And then Electroshock solves that base. Or one of the two bases.
Yeah.
It's
one of the two, but the thing
wouldn't
is...
it be great if that
that's not enough. That's not enough. Electroshock, one of the bases, you resolve 2 damage.
You resolve 5 now. And it's all over.
Oh, guerrilla warfare with ambush, it's all over.
Yeah.
Oh, some amazing play there.
Wonderful game.
Great. Oh,
fantastic to watch.
That is seeing the best of both decks. That is. Wow. Thoroughly enjoyed that.
That was terrific to watch.
That was great to watch. That was a lot of fun. Both players demonstrating deep understandings of their decks, the matchup.
And again, it's easy to watch, but they've played a number of games to qualify. They've made the top 8, and then they've gone through the first round of the top 8.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the semi-finals, and there's quite a bit of pressure, and particularly game 3, like everyone's stressed.
Anybody can heckle.
That's right.
You don't even have to understand the game to sit on the sideline and heckle someone.
And both decks are capable of such damage and things that you just couldn't be calm playing that game.
No, that was... yeah, look, I mean, maybe a few very minor play errors or sequencing errors or whatever. That's to be expected. I think no one's perfect.
Absolutely.
You can look at the best players playing any game. Mistakes will be made. It's guaranteed. We're not machines.
And it's worth noting that we're not out there. They are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyone can heckle.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that was incredible. Carl again. Both players demonstrating, but Carl coming out on top.
Both great players.
Yep.
Carl getting every inch out of his deck that he could and making his way through the final.
That was good to watch.
Yeah.
That was very good to watch.
And I got to see Plant Explosion happen once, which made me happy.
That was
inside.
awesome. That was awesome. So we're still never going to be able to talk Trent out of playing Plant Explosion?
No, I think that's pretty much there forever
That is stuck there forever because he is consistently getting value from it.
Oh, it's so difficult to live with when it happens. It's like, no, I've got this game. I'll take 10.
Yep.
What?
Well, anyway... So that was the semis. We will be back with the finals between Carl and Jason.
That's right. Stay tuned.
Jason?
Justin.
Silly. Between Carl and Justin. We'll be back soon.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.